And on that note, I'll hand it over to you, Dr. Young. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you. And it's always nice to do these conversations because it renews my energy, you know, as it relates to reaching out to people. It's always wonderful when you have a patient like Ines who actually takes the information she receives and implements that into her life, because it's actually a lifestyle. And a statistic you may be aware of, that 90% of all cancerous conditions are caused by what you eat and what you drink. Well, there's an emotional aspect, but 95%, so 5% is only genetic. And I'd like to say that as it pertains to genetics, which do not determine your outcomes or your destiny, that genetics is really an expression of what is outside the cell, which is called the epigenetics. So what controls epigenetics is your lifestyle, your diet, what you eat. And so it was about 16 years ago, this beautiful woman came to me and said she had a serious health challenge. Her name is Ines Clovis, and she comes from a very interesting place called Cairo, Egypt. Now, of course, I had been to Cairo, Egypt, and had an opportunity there to do all the sightseeing, but I was also there to pick up some of the ancient remains of one of the pharaohs to test under my microscope to see if I could bring it back to life. And so I literally added it to a solution, and from that life began. So I was able to see the activity of even the anatomical elements of the dust of the remains of some of the ancients, and it was just validating the fact that death is an illusion, that there's only organization and disorganization, and what determines whether you stay in a healthy, organized state is how you take care of your internal environment. So that's what I taught Ines. And so Ines was diagnosed, and she can tell you a little bit more about the type of cancer, but she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was surprised. And here again, we talked about her lifestyle and diet. And so I'd like to, and what she could do. And I'll turn it over to her, because it's now been 16 years later. And not only she's still with us, but she's thriving on this lifestyle. And guess what? She's doing something even greater. She's paying it forward. So not only did she help herself, but now she's helping others. So Ines, how are you today?
Great. How are you, Dr. Young?
I'm great.
Great
thanks
to see
for
you.
asking. Oh, it's nice. Always nice to see you too. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey and how we met and just how you dealt with this diagnosis.
Sure. It was 16 years ago. I was living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I was in sales, financial sales and marketing, and I was living a very stressful life and eating anything from anywhere. I was a total junkie. I had no idea. At that time, my concept of health was to remain a certain size and a certain weight. And as long as I maintained that weight, I thought I was healthy, and I was far from it until I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that stopped me in my track. It just completely made me stop and rethink everything. And at that time, I really didn't know much. So I followed the traditional medical procedures of surgery and 33 sessions of radiation, which destroyed my health. It really made me feel incredibly tired and exhausted all the time and aching all over. And I thought to myself, geez, I felt better before I started the treatment than after the treatment. And then the second round came when the oncologist told me, now we're going to do chemotherapy and 5 years of tamoxifen, 5 years of hormonal therapy. And something inside me told me that this path is just not for me. And luckily, a friend of mine gave me an interview of Tony Robbins, where he interviewed you in a program called Power Talk. And this interview was, the light went on. It was amazing. It was information that I heard for the first time. You're talking about alkalinity and acidity and the pH, and you spoke about all the things that we should not be eating, which was exactly what I was eating. And it was an amazing interview. And so I contacted you at that time, and I came to you as a patient. And I started following the pH Miracle program. It transformed me. It transformed how I feel, how I look, how my energy level. It changed me completely. And after that, I decided, I came to you and I said, Dr. Young, I want to learn everything about your program because I want to teach it. I want to do this work. And sure enough, I studied with you. I studied microscopy first, basic and advanced. And then we worked together for a while. And then now this is the work I do. And now I'm a nutritional consultant, and I deal with people with cancer, and I tell them what to do to improve their health and recover and live a healthy life forever.
Well, Ines, you look like a very young girl. You know, I know you're a woman, but you look very young for your age. And I'm not going to ask you your age, but you look vibrant. And also, I mean, how are you feeling on an emotional, mental level? Have you noticed any of this affecting your overall, way that you react to things? I mean, we're currently living in a very, very challenging world with many things going on.
Yes. Well, I have to admit, Dr. Young, I mean, it's all thanks to you and your work, because before I found out about you and your work, I was a very depressed person. I was overweight, I was depressed. I was not a happy person, I have to tell you that. And following the pH Miracle, I became a pH Miracle myself, and it transformed me, transformed everything. It transformed my feeling, my emotions, how I think, my relationship with other people, my outlook on life. I became a much more positive person. I mean, the list goes on and on about the changes that happened to me. It's just kind of like you took away all the junk, all the stuff that was not me. And once I got rid of it, once I detoxed and cleansed all the acidity, it's like the real me showed up. And I have to tell you, I look younger today than I did when we first met. I mean, 16 years ago, I looked older than I do today.
That's amazing. I mean, a lot of people might think in the back of their mind, if they still have one foot in conventional medicine, is, well, how do you know the chemotherapy didn't cure your cancer? How do you know that it didn't do what it was supposed to do and put you into remission? Because you're in remission right now. And, I mean, what was the difference from being on a conventional protocol of oncology, of chemotherapy or radiation or immunotherapy or surgery, versus, let's say, the pH Miracle program, which is really a contextual approach to managing the biochemistry of the interstitial and vascular fluids of your body, and by hyperperfusing alkalinity. I mean, how did that feel inside, and how do you answer a question is, well, how do you know that chemotherapy didn't, and immunology or surgery didn't cure your condition?
Well, I know how I felt when I was doing the traditional protocol, the radiation. I felt terrible. I felt exhausted. I looked terrible. I looked like I was ready to die. My whole body was aching. I just felt terrible. I did not feel healthy by any means. It didn't make sense to me that by putting poison in my body is going to make me healthy. Just the equation didn't add up. It just didn't make sense to me. This is when I decided to try the natural path, which was the pH miracle. To my luck, that I found you, and I decided, let's give it a chance. You know, let's try this path. What am I eating? I'm eating healthy. I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating salads. I'm eating avocados. You know, there is no side effects, and let's see what happens. Well, Dr. Young, I mean, within 10 days, I have to say that it seemed like the clouds were lifted. Where before I felt exhausted and tired and low energy and always ready to take a nap at any time. My eyes were tired. My skin was not healthy. I mean, I didn't feel good every single day. I was depressed. I was overweight. And then getting on the pH miracle, I lost weight. My skin cleared up. I looked healthy. I felt amazing. The energy level was unlike anything I've ever experienced. I mean, maybe I remember that feeling when I was in my teen years, when I was 14 and 15. I felt that energetic and that alive. Well, all of a sudden, I felt the same. I felt happy for no reason, you know. I mean, before
you felt like the ever-ready bunny that had more energy than you knew what to do with. From eating like a rabbit. I mean, is that what you have to do to cure your cancerous condition?
Yes.
So, what do you think, Ian? I mean, you're listening to this conversation. Does a question come to your mind that you would like to ask Ines about what she's gone through with this pH miracle protocol, the pH miracle for cancer?
Well, I wanted to address something. I think the reason why, because it's been a long time, right? And it hasn't come back. There's no reoccurrence. And the reason why is, and she said it perfectly, she's happy now. Because that's fourth chakra, that's love, the ability to give or receive love. And the thing with the pH miracle, when you get alkaline, you do naturally go to your natural weight. So if you're overweight, you'll slim down, you'll start looking at yourself, feeling better about yourself, your energy will be better. But if you're really smart, you stop anything that's making you acidic, like she did. She went totally alkaline. And then she started feeling better too, that her fourth chakras started flowing, you know, her energies, her love, is whatever terminology you want to use, her love was there, abundant. And I think that's why she's still doing really well today. So congratulations, yeah. And I'm really glad you're speaking out, because not enough people do that. They'll go and cure themselves of cancer and just go back about their business. You know, we need to get this word out to people. You know yourself, if you're a coach, there's enough people out there that need to be telling their story like you are.
Yeah. Thank you, Ian. Well, it's just all thanks to Dr. Young's work and his books. The beauty of Dr. Young's work that has made the most impact on my life, that it has given me the power to be healthy. It has given me that it's in my own hands. It's up to me how my health is.
So you mentioned a book. Did you read a book before starting the program? I mean, how did you get on this? I mean, how did you teach yourself?
I read this book.
You read
the pH Miracle. The pH Miracle changed my life. This book was a life changer for me.
You know, people ask me about the word pH, and they say, what does that stand for? And I say, well, the pH stands for perfect and the H stands for healthy. Perfectly healthy.
That's so true.
Actually, in biochemistry, the pH stands for the word potential, and it's the potential of hydrogen.
Yes.
Yeah, but here we went on to get into a chemistry class. And confuse the issue. But yeah, and then what people ask me is they ask me, well, what about this miracle? I mean, is this some sort of religion or something? No, the word miracle, by my definition, is the phenomenon between the cause and effect relationship, which is not understood by current medical science, because medical science does not understand the cause. You even said it when you asked your doctor, how did I get cancer? I said, well, he said, well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Okay, well, cancer is not something you get. Cancer is a consequence of lifestyle choice. You don't get it, you do it.
Yes.
And cancer is a condition or a symptom of that. It's an effect. The underlying cause is lifestyle and dietary choices. And if you're unwilling to change your diet, it's hard to reverse these types of conditions. That's 95% of it. The rest of it can be genetic or emotional or mental states. But once you get the lifestyle changed, looking at what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're breathing, even what you're thinking, feeling, and believing, yes. All those contribute to states of acidosis, which ends up in the interstitial fluids, which are the fluids that surround the cell, that if not eliminated through the 4 or 5 channels of elimination, gets pushed out. For women, it gets put out into the breast or into the fatty tissues. And that's the number one cause of death in women for cancer is breast cancer. For men, it's prostate cancer. And so you exercised your faith, which is the first attribute in thinking healthy. And you started to receive benefits within as short a time as 10 days. And now it's 16 years later. I mean, have you been really following what's in that book for the last 16 years?
I follow it religiously. It's like life-saving. I don't mess with any acidic foods. I don't crave any chocolate or ice cream or anything that I know would harm me. I don't touch any acidic food. I focus on green foods and alkalinity. I drink lots of water.
Mm-hmm. So how old are you anyway? 36?
Doctor.
Are you over 40? So what do you think are some of the maybe 2 or 3 most important things that you altered in your lifestyle that has brought you to this incredible place in your life of thriving instead of just surviving?
Well, first is focusing on green foods and green drinks. Green is the most important thing that I eat every single day and drink. I eat it and drink it. The salts, the 4 salts, I drink it daily for the past 16 years. And drinking lots of water, lots and lots of water. I drink 7 liters per day.
So do you drink the grass, yes. Eat the grass, or smoke the grass? Which one do you do the most of?
I drink it.
You drink grass. Yeah.
I drink grass daily, every single day. And the impact on the health is absolutely amazing.
And my favorite, if I may interject, the thing that you taught me was your fluids are like a fish tank. Picture a fishbowl, a fish in a fishbowl. And if the fishbowl water is dirty and the fish keep dying, what are you going to do? Well, why don't you just change the water, which is your blood, because your blood gets acidic. You eat a hamburger, the acid goes through your stomach, somehow gets to the blood. And if it changes much, your pH in your blood changes much, you're going to die. So your dirty stuff it can't clean, you have to, like he says, you have to get rid of it. You have to sweat it out. You have to breathe it out. That's the key, is eliminating all the acidic waste inside of you. Exactly. And then you have a clean fish tank. And next thing you know, your pH, that's what it means by getting your pH up. We were born at a pH of 7.4. A lot of people average is about 6.3. At cancer, you're down around 5.5. At 4.5, you die. So we want to get those interstitial fluids pH up to 7.4 and above. And ideally, when you follow the pH miracle, you'll get it up to 8.4. And then you're running like a smooth machine. Am I right?
But if you want to get out of your cancerous condition, you have to reduce the levels of lactic acid in the interstitial fluids. And you can check it very simply by testing the urine pH. And ideally, if you want to regenerate your body, your pH of your urine, that pH should be at 8.4 or higher. So anytime that your body's not getting enough alkalinity, the stomach produces that in the form of sodium bicarbonate. That's why people end up with an upset stomach, particularly when they're doing chemotherapy, because chemotherapy is just another contributing factor to acidity. That's why the body has to produce this salt. So taking salt in the form of sodium potassium bicarbonate is essential. In fact, I wanted to ask you, Ines, is that something you did or still do? Take the four basic salts, the sodium, potassium bicarbonate, the magnesium, and calcium. Is that something you do on a regular basis?
Every single day. I take it every single day. And usually I take it first thing in the morning. And if for whatever reason, if I didn't sleep well the night before, or I need more energy during the day, I will take another glass with salt, with the 4 salts during the day.
So would you say that's the major thing you do to manage your internal fluids of your body to keep it alkaline?
Absolutely. The salt, the body reacts to it immediately. The body becomes alkaline. The pH of the urine is over 8. It's the quickest and the fastest way to be alkaline and to have more energy is drinking the 4 salts.
Can you think of anything else that might be meaningful or helpful to those who are listening to this?
The thing I would like to tell anyone who's dealing with a cancer condition is you have choices and there are options, and everybody can improve their health through their lifestyle, through what they eat and what they drink. And thanks to you and thanks to your work, the results are truly a miracle.
Yeah. And so you're not the exception to the rule for cancer, because I know you've been, not only for yourself, you've been helping people for now at least 14, if not at least 10 years. What is the outcome if people will follow this? What have you found to be the outcome of their taking this type of path and implementing this type of a protocol?
I can add to that too, because I was following, before Dr. Young, I was following Dr. Bernardo, who did the 80-20, and he was curing 8 out of 10 of his people. And then when he added another concoction similar to the 4 salts, he was curing 9 out of 10 people. So when I met Dr. Young, it was an easy sell for me. So as a cancer coach for 20 plus years, I've been seeing people 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 people cure themselves of cancer using the pH miracle. End of story.
Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, but we're so grateful that you would just take this 15 to 20 minutes and share your experience, because it's not like this was something you just started 6 months or a year ago. I mean, you've been living this lifestyle for 16 years. Yes. And you're a beautiful example of the efficacy of this protocol. And I think it's wonderful, that you're doing this, because I know that your sharing shows that you truly care. So sharing is caring, and I'm so grateful that we met many years ago, grateful that you had a beautiful outcome, grateful that you're still helping others and reaching out to help others. I mean, life is for service, and when you're serving others, I mean, that's, I don't know, for me, that's when I find the greatest happiness and joy, particularly when your work is successful. So I'm very blessed myself to be able to do something that I love, because I love helping people and I love to see the results, and a beautiful result here with you, Ines. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation. So
thank you so much,
thank
Dr.
you.
Young. Thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for saving so many people's lives. You are truly an angel, and I owe it all to you and your work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Ines. And Ian, thank you. And thank you for carrying it up to share and to be on the cusp of medical breakthroughs and helping people really learn, because a true physician is by definition an educator, someone who teaches and empowers people with knowledge so that they can learn how to take care of this precious gift of physicality, of mortality that we have, and to improve the quality and quantity of life of each soul that we have the opportunity to bless. I can't think of any greater work. So thank you.
Thank you. And may I just say before I go, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So for all the people that have had cancer, you're already in shape, you know what's going on, and this is going to help you through what's going on now in this world. And just start now. Whether you have cancer, don't wait till you have cancer. Just start the pH miracle now is all I can say. And thank you. Good to see you, sir.
Great. All the best. All right.
Lots of love to
Bye.
you.
Ian,
Too.
Ines.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dr. Young.